recording. I'm
Wow.
All right. All
You
right,
can.
here we are. Welcome, everybody. So Sharon, were you going to start out?
I can. Well, I just want to say good evening, everybody, and welcome to our Mission Possible team call. We're excited. This is where many of us are fresh back from conference. Sally and I are still in Phoenix, still enjoying the warm weather out here, but we want to share some of the highlights. Really, just an incredible conference, and we say after so many years, this was the best ever and the best yet. But I'd have to go that this was the best one ever. Most the content, the impact, the vision, all of that combined has really getting people set on fire. So we're hoping to convey it's nothing like being there. So we'll need you to put your dates on your calendar for October, but we'll share a few highlights. So Sally, I'm going to turn this over to you. And I will say that we're going to start out with Joni Smith this evening and let her share her perspective.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sharon. Well, my last conference was in 2017 at Anaheim. And this year's conference lived up to the plus live that we saw. I am telling you that the transitions between each one of the events and the speakers was top notch. The speakers, all of them were engaging. The content that was there was incredibly informative. One of the things that stood out to me the most was the professionalism of this event. There was an attention to detail that was just impressive. At this conference, I learned so much from the speakers. They were all experts, of course, in their field. Of course, we heard the NMD stories and the doctors and from the Tower Garden panel and marketing and the communications team, the product development team, a history of the company, which of course I'd never heard because I'm relatively old and new at the same time. But everybody shared their knowledge in a way that sometimes it was just sentimental and just awe-inspiring. Sometimes it was informative, always informative, and always engaging. And there are a couple of times that you get a little misty-eyed with some of those folks and what they're sharing. So that's like all conferences, but this one just took it to another level. So I left the conference feeling that I was inspired, motivated. I've already started making some calls and of course, you know, healthier choices in my life, which is of course what it's all about. So overall, I had an amazing experience and I'm not going to miss Charlotte because of what happened in Phoenix. So if you didn't go, I'm sorry. You do not want to miss the next one. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, in fact, just talking about Charlotte, the company did, and we put it on Voxer, but they did this 24-hour special, $75 to get for your conference ticket. And in this conference, there were about 3,000 people. And by the end of that 24 hours, there were already 2,400 people registered for Charlotte. So we know it is going to be way, way, way bigger and just equally powerful and even more so. Great. Thank you, Joni. Dr. Wanda. So I think you were going to share a little bit about Dr. Pohl.
Yes.
We're thinking spoke to you about that and whatever else you want to share.
Okay, so yeah, I will start by saying that Dr. Pohl's NMD speech at the Atlanta conference is what caused me to declare out loud in our meeting that I was going to retire. So he impacted me last fall, and he did a great job of going over the science behind our product and also why this product is so vital at this time. He shared a compelling slide at first, which related to the state of health in America. There were 3 points that he made. One was that men's fertility is declining to the point that there's going to be a dramatic effect on the birth rate as around 2050. Like maybe we won't be having any. And this is directly related to the state of our health and the state of our nutrition, our bad nutrition and bad choices impacting our health. One of the points was that the maternal mortality is rising in the United States. And interestingly, on this graph, it was very clear that among developing countries, the United States is the only country where maternal mortality is increasing. In all other developed nations, rate of mortality for women bearing children is decreasing. And the third point on that slide was the chronic metabolic disease burden is increasing in the United States. So it's a pretty sad picture of our health. And unfortunately, a lot of people are not paying attention and not doing anything to counter that. He also discussed specifically for women, the increase in morbidity and mortality in women. And a lot of this is related to the increased risk of cardiovascular disease. In most reports before now, you always looked at men being more at risk for having cardiovascular disease and dying. But now you get to a point where those lines on the graph are crossing and women are surpassing men. And he said that this related to the ongoing oxidative stress in women throughout their lives. And that unless something is done to neutralize that oxidative stress, neutralize those free radicals, then we are facing disastrous consequences. He said this needs to be countered by antioxidants available with better nutrition, with increased plants in the diet, and/or by the consumption of Juice Plus. Several statements that he made that prevention is the first step of healthcare. And in terms of prenatal care for women who are pregnant, he said that the Juice Plus Quad is the prenatal of choice, and it should be started by 8 weeks of pregnancy. And I will add to that, it really should be started before conception, but that's Wanda's take on that. He said that girls should start Juice Plus before puberty to decrease the increased risk that women are facing from antioxidant stress and oxidative stress and chronic inflammation and diseases. He also made a statement that life expectancy is declining in the United States rather than increasing, and that healthcare expenditures are exploding. And anybody who's had to purchase any medicine or been to a doctor's visit or gotten a test, you know that's a fact. So one of the questions he asked was, what is your strategy for consuming more plants? And of course, what's recommended is Juice Plus, fruits, vegetables, berries, and Omega Blend. And he also touched on some of the studies. And interestingly, he said his favorite study was that Journal of the College of Cardiology study on improved circulation. And that happens to be my favorite study. So I think that I'm just going to pitch my star to Dr. Pope from now on.
Right. Thank you so much, Dr. Wanda. Sandy, marketing messaging improvements that are coming yet.
Well, and they are still coming, because as much as I tried to get online, I couldn't even get into our hub today for some reason. It was blocking me from doing so all day. But Sally took a quick look and couldn't find what they said is going to be there. But they are taking on some of the conversation of the Healthy Living affiliates, and also they did through their marketing research surveys and all these things, what they have really found out is that we should not be offering people a business opportunity. People aren't looking for businesses. They're looking for income. So additional income. And so that's the verbiage that we should be talking about, is an income opportunity. And we have income with impact. That was what was up there, income with impact. And I really liked that as well. There's going to be new social shareables on the hub. Why should you join us? Frequently asked question guide is significantly being updated. Animated reels on social media, and that's all coming. So please keep an eye out for it. Maybe they will talk about it in the Thursday Insights that we get on Friday. And keep looking at hub and boards. Nothing new is on the boards yet either. So I'm sure they'll be getting that information out very quickly. But think of just changing that one simple verbiage, income opportunity instead of business opportunity, could make a huge difference in bringing people on board.
Great, thank you. Deanne.
Hi, everybody.
And berries, and take it up.
Yeah, I'm going to go rapid fire, and you might want a pen and pencil because I'm going to be sharing some resources with you. So I'm going to share my screen while you're getting your pen and paper. I wanted to share one of my very favorite quotes from our conference. And let's see, let me get rid of that. So John Gordon was a keynote speaker on the main stage, and I was also privileged to be in a learning lab with him and several of us. And he said, too often we listen to ourselves, instead we need to talk to ourselves. So how many of you all have ever listened to yourself about your self-doubt, your fear, your negativity? He was all about optimism. Well, he said, instead of that, we need to learn to talk to ourselves positively, feed ourselves with words and encouragement that we need to be our best. So I wanted to share his slide here, johngordon.com. He's on Facebook. He is on Instagram. He has a podcast, and there is a picture of some of the books that he has written. Most of us know him from The Energy Bus, which is a delightful book. Several of us, I think many of us, read that together. And your leaders also read The Power of a Positive Team that he did as well. So you can go to his website, and there are free resources there. There's a 7-day action plan, there's positive leadership, and it's all for free. I wanted to play this video that you can find. You can find him very easily on YouTube. This is 39 seconds, and this gives you a flavor of what it was like.
The work that you do as a leader, life in general, it's not a marathon, it's not a sprint, it's a series of sprints combined with a boxing match. We're not just running, but we're getting hit along the way. And your optimism is a competitive advantage. I want to encourage you to write that down. Your optimism is a competitive advantage. It is a game changer. Pessimists do not change the world. Naysayers talk about problems, but they don't solve them. Critics write words, but they don't write the future. It is the positive leaders, the believers, the dreamers, the doers that ultimately create the world.
Hopefully y'all could see that. So I just wanted to encourage you. He's very positive. We want to lead with purpose and positivity. Oops, excuse me. And I wanted to highlight a couple things on boards. You can go to news and info. I wanted to remind you of our monthly incentive. Berry season came early. You can place a brand new order for the berry capsules and receive 1 free pouch of the Juice Plus Berry Blend chewables. While I was at conference, I sent out a project broadcast to everybody on my list saying, you know, you might want to take advantage of this. And 2 people ordered while I was at conference. So you have 6 days to help people get some berries in their lives. Also on boards, you can see in news and information the partner incentive. So anybody who signs up as a new partner this month will be shipped for free next month a box with a bag of complete in vanilla chocolate, and then also our Perform. That's a pouch. So it's $144 value. I've had 2 customers whose orders were going this month, and I said, you would qualify because you have to place an order for $200 with this reship. Would you like to get some free product and get the best price for the rest of the year? And they're like, well, sure. So you have 6 days to get that done as well. And I'm going to turn that back over to you, Sally.
Great, thank you so much. Cheryl, Family Health Study.
Yes, thank you, Sally. In the family health study, we sort of had an inkling that this was starting to happen, but in the Healthy Starts for Families, age is now determining the eligibility to participate in that program. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and I can you see it? Yeah. And I want you to, so you can find it. So just like Deanne did, I'm going to boards, and she was up in the news section, and I'm going down. Well, actually I am in the news and info section at the bottom where it says updates, and it does say family health study. That was the old verbiage on that. So I'm going to click on that, and I want you to see a couple of the graphics that they have up there now and some of the enhancements that they made. So recent enhancements to the Healthy Starts for Families, no 4-year limit. Yay. Any child with an adult sponsor who is at least 4 years of age gets free fruit and vegetable chewables or capsules until they are 25. Wow. Right? Until they're 25. So you can, what's different now is they don't have to have a college student requirement. So what's beautiful about this is it also includes military. If your child is military or your customer's child goes into the military, fantastic. They can be part of this study. Or if they go into a trade school, which, oh my gosh, we need so many of those people right now. If they go into trade school, they can be eligible to participate in the Healthy Starts for Families, or just young professionals that opt to not attend college, they are still eligible as well. So, and then if you have a question about what about all the existing Healthy Starts for Families customers that we have right now, they are automatically going to be converted into the new program. So that's it. Thank you.
Yeah, and one of the other things that came up on our team call we were just on, but she was talking about the family health study, and that the company contributes $50 million a year to the family health study, to free product. I mean, who does that? Nobody does that. I mean, it is amazing. And it's something that I think we really can share with people, because it is a wow. It is a big wow. And it really shows the commitment to family health that our company has. So, oh, Sally, that's me. All right. I'm going to do some quick info on the soy-free. And I know we'll be getting some of this also in shareables and in insights. I'm sure it'll be just packed with some of these details. But as I hope everybody knows, Soy-Free Complete, that option is now available only for partners. If you haven't ordered it yet, do so. I think Carol was saying today on our call this morning that she just tried it and it's absolutely delicious. I would agree, it's creamier than the other, and then our regular Complete. And for me personally, I'm thinking to alternate, because I love both so much. It's actually as a gram of fiber more, I think they said, than our original Complete. Dr. Phillips spoke about it, and unfortunately, the slides that we took from the audience, they weren't clear enough for me to create images that I could share. But let me just share a little bit. There's a minor unique attribute in that the soy-free is a slightly bigger serving. It's 38.5 grams instead of 38. I mean, it's pretty minor in the difference. But that is one thing. It is free from grains, gluten, any artificial flavors, colors, etc. Just like our original complete. It's has no GMOs, no soy, of course, no nuts, including coconut, and no dairy. The amino acid profile, we know that soy is the only plant that has a full balanced amino acid profile. Ours, because of what they have in it, the ingredients, it is a 90% similar profile. So it's not exactly 100%, but it's very, very close. And Dr. Phillips was talking about, I'm sorry, I'm trying to read these slides. Simple ingredients, of course, plant-based and sourced from nature, 8 grams of fiber. It has sprouts, alfalfa, broccoli, radish, and 13 grams of protein from pea, rice, pumpkin, and sunflower. So basically, it's delicious, and what a great offering that we have to be able to give the people that are the never soy people in our life. And there are some of those, no matter how hard we've tried. So moving on, Janae. Tower Garden.
I'm going to talk about Tower Gardens. There was a lot of exciting things happening. So 1 million kids in schools are being impacted by Tower Gardens in schools. Isn't that awesome that we're helping all these children? There's a new Facebook group called the Growers Guild. And so that is corporate led. You can invite your customers to that. And there's a new Spanish section. We have the Nifty 50. So anyone that orders a Tower Garden is eligible for this. So it's a $50 bonus. It's unlimited. This is not going to go away. And so let's say that you yourself want to get a Tower Garden and you can qualify for that extra $50 if it has been 36 months or longer. You can get another Tower Garden and get some extra bonus money. So isn't that really cool? Think of all the customers you can help with Tower Gardens too and get all this extra bonus. It's not going away, people. So that's really exciting. They have extended the light warranty for Tower Gardens. So if someone purchases the new lights today, they will qualify for a 3-year warranty instead of just 1 year. That's really exciting. We can now ship the mineral solution to Puerto Rico, Hawaii, and Alaska because it's air friendly. They have removed the phosphoric acid, so there's no issue anymore. They can directly ship it. And let's see, there was a panel that really spoke to me. There was one lady on there talking about how she is in Alaska. And I just didn't really comprehend how difficult it is to get great quality produce to people who live in Alaska. So she gave some insight. She said it takes 8 days from California on a barge for them to get produce. And they import 95% of their food into grocery stores. 95%. Can you imagine waiting to see what's on your shelf at the store? And most of the people there live on canned fruits and vegetables because they just can't get it. They are lacking in nutrition. We have so many people we can help with Tower Gardens. People are wanting to grow it inside. She said that if they have a garden outside, the moose will eat the kale and the cabbage faster than they can get it. So they want to grow indoors. She said if they get other produce from, let's say, Mexico, it's going to take about 3 weeks. So she gave an example of zucchini. So when they get it, it's nasty and moldy. So it really spoke to me because I have some friends who I'm in a military community and they have moved to Alaska. Like, it's my responsibility to let them know this is an option for their family. And so I'm really inspired to help more people with Tower Gardens.
Great, thank you, Danae. Darlene, I saw that you were jumping on. I know you are at an event tonight. I don't know if you wanted to jump in quick and share anything if you're able. Yeah, if not, we'll go on to Paula.
Thanks, Sally. Well, it wouldn't be conference without some swag. 40 ouncer, it's got Juice Plus on it. So excited. Yeah, so I'm going to just highlight, there's always inspiration. Inspiration is like huge at conference, and Beverly Grandison was one of those that was on stage, and she's super inspiring. One of the things she said is, are you going to die with your dreams or your memories? That was a pretty strong statement. Nicole Scott closed out our conference and just really shared an amazing story of her journey. She lost 2 NMD lines. So NMD, top position of company, 2 lines, and still is now a business with 100 qualifiers. So resilience, and her talk actually was on grit. And grit is an acronym for gratitude, repetition, inspire, and teach. And I won't unpack that now. Maybe we'll do another call sometime about that. But hard moments build grit. And her definition of grit was a personality trait possessed by individuals who demonstrate passion and perseverance toward a goal despite being confronted by significant obstacles and distractions. So she really had an inspirational talk. And I want to end real quickly with Victoria Venduzzi. Most of you remember her as the youngest NMD team from Louisiana. And she talked about the fact that there's 2 yous, there's 2 me's. There's the strong, courageous, disciplined, overcoming you. And then there's also a you that retracts, plays small, doubts, fears take over. And we usually slide deep into that second you when we're isolated and alone. And therefore, as Sharon has always said, isolation is our biggest enemy in this business. And so she said, there's always going to be 2 yous, but as you grow, you're able to pivot back to your first you, your best you, faster. And so her encouragement was all around attitudes and habits, and the fact that 80% of our attitude is based on, sorry, I just lost my notes. We have 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts per day. 80% of them are negative. So it does take us some work to stay in that positive you. So she says, declare freedom over your past. Some of us act like we have handcuffs on, that we can't do things, and the handcuffs aren't even hooked. They're not even, locked. We can get out of that. Declare peace over our problems. She said, business, there's going to be things. She's had an example of feeling bad about how her business was going on a particular day, and her husband said, this is normal. This happens. It's all good. So it's just another day in the business. And so if we can normalize the fact that we're going to have hard days, normalize the middle is what she said. And then finally, declare hope over your future. Love it just as much now. You're not going to love it anymore when you're at the top. So live in joy and gratitude now, because that's what you're going for in the end anyway. So that was really good. She talked about habits, discipline, small acts, mentioned power hours, those small little things like the compound effect that build up over time. So all 3 of those ladies gave phenomenal speeches, and they just left you, ready to go.
Yeah, thank you so much, Paula. And we had 3 called learning labs, breakout sessions, smaller sessions where on training.
I'm here.
Oh, okay, Darlene, you want to share something quick?
Yeah, real quick. Yeah, because now I'm driving home. But yes, it was, for me, it was one of the best conference ever. It was so organized, so professional, so on point. And I had the opportunity to go to the learning lab, and the learning lab that I went to, it was all about partners. And as a business owner, it's up to us as to sign up to make sure those partners are on board and make sure they know that why is clear, and to make sure that you take time with them, work with them for as launching their business, because this is a business. And we want to make sure that we get them strong and solid so they can be able to duplicate, taking them to the hub, be there for their first event that they have. Can you hear me? I'm sorry. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm driving, but I wanted to be here because this was important. And it's up to us to make sure that they start strong and know what that why is, because that why is definitely going to keep them in their business and doing their business. And ask them, what do they need from us? You know, so we can just be there to support them also. And the diversity that was on the stage, it just touched my heart in many ways, because just to see people from all over the world being a part in the background, I don't know. It's not me. That's not me, guys. So at any point, the diversity is important because the world is a diverse world. We always talk about inclusion and we want to diversify. So we just got to be open-minded, open hearts. Don't prejudge people like they prejudge, for instance, Jeff Roberti. He was prejudged, but look where he's at today. So we want to always be open when we bring new partners in, support them, see what their needs are, make sure that they have the tools, know how to go through the hub, because it can be duplicated. I know we all hear like boards, but the hub can be duplicatable. So just kind of keep that in mind and just stay open. And I was once told from a national, a PMI, a PM, whatever the highest rank, she said, with this business, you should know the next 4 years, be there at conference. That should be on your calendar. It's no excuses. Make it happen. This is your business and you're bringing more people in. You want to be the best version of a leader that you can be. How do we do that? Follow this proven system that we have in front of us and show up to win. Show up to conference, show up to boot camp. Just show up and be a part of this great mission that we have. We've been blessed to be a part of. And that's all I have, Sally. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Darlene. So speaking of conference, well, just two quick things. The learning labs that happened on Thursday, they were so full of inspiration and real information and how-tos that could really support our businesses. So we are going to take the next couple of weeks on our Mission Possible calls, and we're going to go in depth with those. So we didn't even want to try to spend much time on that tonight, so we can really do them justice. And I want to share my screen with Charlotte. Okay, October 26 to 28 is our next conference. Get this in your calendars. And then where's the next one? Future ones. Future, okay. Future, we have Charlotte, October 26th, and Indianapolis, back to the Midwest, and it's earlier in April than normal, April 4 through 6. So just want to make sure that people get these big rocks in your business, and we are excited. So let me stop share. And Sharon, anything you want to say quick?
Well, there's lots more that we could say. Thank you, everybody, for contributing. I know we're 10 minutes after the hour, so thanks for hanging in with us tonight. Sally for hosting and leading us, and everybody sharing. And next week, I'm going to kick off with the John Blair history of Juice Pluses. That was pretty powerful as well. So let's go out there and shine the light. That's what I would say, for sure.
All righty. Great. Good to see everybody.
Good night, everybody. Have a great week.
Good night. Good night.
Bye.
Thank you. Wow.